Hey, Beatle lovers! This is Craig here. Wanted to do a quick update. I have some updates I wanted to do for the past couple of months, but there's a lot, and I thought, oh, I'll just do a shorter video because I don't want them to be too long. So the first thing I wanted to go, and of course, as you see, is the Cavern Club. I wanted to give a shout out to my boss. She went to England on one of her many trips, and she picked up some goodies for me over in England. And she picked up, of course, this is the Cavern Club. This is the bag that she bought then, and I thought that was really cool to have the bag that came from the Cavern. Um, that's a really cool saying. The most famous club in the world. I think we can all agree with that. What she bought was a tin. In the at the Caverns Club, they have actually a souvenir store. So I asked her to pick me up something from the store. I didn't care what, just whatever I can have, and that actually came from the Cavern Club. There's a little gift shop within there. So I was like, that is cool. It's a demo or a poster, old poster, like a repro of the old poster. It's a tin. It's metal. So which is really quite cool. So, and she picked up some kind of like brochures as well, kind of like that people are going to be playing and stuff. It's really quite cool, like some ticket events and stuff like that, kind of showing, oh, what's going on, who's playing, and so forth. So I thought that was actually really quite cool. So, and the last thing is she went over to Strawberry Fields for me, and she picked up. She went and picked some ivy off of the Strawberry Fields. She said that, which is really quite cool. She said that was actually growing inside, where the gate is. It was coming. It was inside Strawberry Fields, and it came and wrapped around kind of the pillar, or I want to say the gate. So it was actually growing inside Strawberry Fields, but it was kind of coming out. So I thought that was really quite cool. I want to give a thanks to her. So, all right, I want to do some of the pickups. One of the pickups I've had these for a little bit, but I wanted to kind of show the rarity. I've had this for about a year, but I wanted to show this one, and you're asking, well, it's just a paperback writer single, American sleeve, picture sleeve, but it's actually a very rare rendition of it. As you can tell, you see the thumb tab right here. That's actually on the wrong side. So they made a oops kind of thing, because paperback writer is the A side. Usually they put the thumb tabs on the B side. So see, and this is the A side, and Rain is not the A side. It's actually the B side. So if you find, usually like 90% of the time, you'll find these kind of singles. You'll find the thumb tab on the other side, which is really quite cool. So that I would go out and look for this. I mean, there is a price difference on them. So, and of course, here is the single. Really quite cool. It's really nice. It's almost near mint. I mean, the person that bought this really didn't play it that much. So really quite cool. So the other single I wanted to show, I've had this for quite some time, but I was like looking at it, I was like, I should probably show this because a lot of people would probably want to see it. And it's the VJ Please Please Me, from ETU single sleeve. It is very rare. I think it's actually the rarest picture sleeve from VJ, not including commercial releases, not including the promos. So one of the rarest. It's very difficult to find. So I was really happy. It was a long time ago that I picked that. This is one of the first things I invested in. I was like, oh, I'll just get that. So I thought that was actually pretty quite cool. And then here is the single. It's just From Me to You, and then let's flip her over. Please Please Me. So not too bad of a single, condition-wise, I should say, but not as good as the paperback writer. I have to put that aside, of course. But I thought that was really cool to show. And this is actually the real one. You're going to want to look out for fakes of this, because people tend to fake this a lot. When people usually use fakes, this border up here, the Beatles, is going to be a different color. And also you're going to want to look at the quality of the picture. So it has to be a fine quality. It can't be blurry. Just kind of like introducing the Beatles. So really like that. All right. Next find I wanted to show was my Rubber Soul. And you're like, oh, okay, well, there's another copy of Rubber Soul. Well, the reason why I picked this one up is because it's a really cool variant. The first pressing of the stereo variant, I should say. If you can see right here, it says new improved stereo. When this album came out, they made the mistake of putting that on there because you really can't see it. Even in the video, I mean, even though I'm sorry for the shakiness on my hand, but it's really kind of difficult to see the full dimension stereo. So what they did was they took that out, they cropped this off and moved the album, the slick up, but they put this in black up top here on the white. And then if you notice, they forgot the file under the Beatles. See right here, they usually say file under the Beatles. So in the later editions of the stereo, this is only for the stereo versions, they put file under the Beatles back on there. So thought that was kind of, and the record, I'm not going to show the record, but the record is the same thing, where in my past videos there's no Beatles on the label. It only says Rubber Soul, and then it says the Beatles, they list the names, and that's it. So next one I wanted to do was this is just an upgrade. I found this for like $3, and I thought, well, why not? It's just good old upgrade in stereo. Same thing as before. If you watch my other videos, that's the first pressing cover. You want to see the label for the correct playing order. So just an upgrade, not too much excitement. Now I wanted to show this. This is a bit of a fork in the road. I wanted to show that, and I picked up that, the Monkees, the album. But what was really cool, I mean, it's your normal standard Monkees album, but this was actually the first pressing of the album that has the error on it. So it's actually very hard to find. I actually tried to find this. See that Papa Jeans Blues right there? There it goes. They realized it's not the blue jeans, but Jean is in the name. So they changed only the first, I don't know how many copies, but only a very rare first couple, I want to say 1,000. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong on that. But the first pressings of this album is Papa Jeans Blues on the front cover and the back. So that's that. And I was like, I've been looking for this album because you find hundreds of these albums everywhere you go, but it was very difficult to find the actual first pressing of the album. Which, where is the song? Yeah, there you go. There, focus. There is Papa Jeans Blues. So it's actually and the record says Jean on it, the actual name Jean. So I thought, oh, well, I'll just get for the cover, of course. So that was actually quite interesting. But this one's actually almost near mint, and I actually put it into, I put it in a frame. So as you can see there, and their only problem is with it is I think right here it has like a little tear which you can't see on camera because of the frame. And in the box, it's like near perfect. There's only like a slight bend in the actual box. So I thought that was actually they're both first pressings. They're both first editions. They have the red apple on the back of the cover. They didn't come with the poster, but really, really quite nice. And if you want to see, I know there's a lot of other people out there on YouTube that have taken apart this album. So if you want to see others, you can put in like "Let It Be" box in the search, and you can see what it looks like in. But I thought that was actually quite cool from you guys. I've showed these in the past in my other videos. See these books, and if you know about Bruce Spizer, these books can be very, very costly. They can be kind of a chunk of change, each one individual one. This is actually probably the least one, but they're very, very good books. And if you want to increase your knowledge on the Beatles on Parlophone Records or even the U.S., definitely take a look at these books, because this is how I be like. Now my wife and all my family just calls me the Rain Man of the Beatles, just because I've read these so many times of the of what the pressings of the US and the Parlophone pressings. It's really quite cool. So I would recommend getting these. I've showed that one before. I've showed this one, which is really cool. The story, he goes in through the story of the butcher cover and stuff like that. Really, really fine tuned too. See, I mean, they're really like good pictures in here. Like they go through like Rubber Soul here. He goes through like every label variation and so forth. So if you're into like collecting different variations, definitely pick this up. They are pricey now. This one I want to say is about $200 now. They have the digital versions now. You can go online and pick them up. But they are getting very, very pricey. But the new ones I actually picked up, I got the singles. So there's this volume 1, this is volume 2, part 2. This is where the singles and the introducing the Beatles, like the story. Then I had to pick up the Apple version, the Apple one. So I picked up the Beatles on Apple Records. And then I picked up their solo one, which is really quite cool. So after their breakup. So very highly recommend doing this, because it is very good to learn about information about all the little details and so forth. So and what's really quite cool, they just don't show the singles. I mean, they show a ton of information about like of the song, how it was written, what everything. Here's Hey Jude. I mean, it's really quite cool. It's very, very good book, very good read. They are going up in price, so but Bruce Spizer is putting them, like I was saying before, on digital download, so you can actually take a look and look at the information. There's no prices in them, because he wants them to become like a literary group of, so you can actually just pick them up anytime. If you want something for prices, I recommend picking up something like this, like the Beatles Price Guide. And they're really good pictures. I mean, they go over really well. I mean, and they're both, what's really quite cool is they both go together. So he'll actually, if you had a question in this, you could actually hop over to this and look up the same number, because he has a specific guide in terms and numbers and stuff. You can look up in the price guide and go, okay, mine's this number, or like the Apple 80371-2 or something like that. So definitely pick up that good stuff. I would definitely pick up these if you want to increase your knowledge on the Beatles, on in their Capitol albums, their Apple albums, the US albums, their Parlophone. There's a lot of great videos as well out there. Want to give a shout out to the Vinyl Basement as well. I would definitely go and check out his channel, especially for the Parlophone records. I mean, he's got some really good ones, and he goes into the details as well. I want to say more elegant than me just rambling. So, but definitely take care. Hope to see you soon.